Hi guys, welcome to another movie crew review. Today we'll be reviewing Warfare.
The movie stars Will Poulter, Joseph Quinn, and Charles Melton.
So, taking place during the 2006 Battle for Ramadi, we see an American Navy platoon taking hold of a building and then subsequently going through the chaos of the attack that happens throughout the course of the film. So, we're going to start this review off, and Moon is going to start us off.
So when this movie began, and I was like, am I in the wrong cinema or something? Because that was the only fun thing in the movie. I would say there were a couple of jokes here and there, but this movie is dark. Oh my God. I was so uncomfortable. The tension throughout the whole movie is just relentless tension. And I don't know, like there is no way I can just say anything about this movie. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. And I will just say this movie has one of the best sound designs, especially any gunshots, any tanks, any bombs going off. One of the best soundtracks, like sound designs I've ever heard. Like when we watched Civil War, it was pretty loud, but this is like turned up 11, and oh, it is some good shit. And I've never jumped in my life. I've seen so much horror, never ever jumped this much from a particular scene. I won't spoil it just in case. I was like, I got startled, and I was like, wow, this is impactful. And this is very heavy movie. I would probably never watch it again because it is so heavy. This is basically what it will. This is closest we'll ever feel to be there. So props to everyone who worked on this movie. I've been singing praises for Garland from long time, and every time he's just killing it, man. He's making movies. Now I think he's finding his own niche, these war movies, and I would love to see what's next, what he's gonna do next. John?
Yeah, I really enjoyed this film. A really serious story that takes place over this 90-minute runtime. Yeah, it starts out something a bit different. I thought maybe I was, watching a different film, or I went to the wrong cinema kind of thing. That's how it starts out. But once you get into the thick of it, it really, that first half an hour kind of sets you in for the back 60 minutes. And it really builds like the seriousness. They have a little bit of joke between them, but they're all fairly serious for the most part before the action takes place. And you can see they're all quiet, they're not overly talking, and it gives that real eerie feeling. Not having context or knowing much backstory for these characters really helps you be in the moment. And for me, I found it really just sat with me that we really don't know these people outside of the context of the invasion that's happening. We don't really know, unless you know the story of like the Iraq War and things like that. You don't have that context to fall back on. So for me, I enjoyed that it just stayed grounded. It was the memories of these soldiers. So it's not exactly like perfect, but you get the feelings that they were trying to portray. You'll never know until you're there the kind of things that are going to happen in war, and you'll never really understand that feeling unless you're in the thick of it. But I think this is the closest that I've seen that really gives you that sense of what's happening. And it's just really a dark film overall in terms of what's happening to the actual characters throughout the film. There's bombs going off, IEDs. You see the system kind of failing and backups coming in, but it's not really working out how they want it to. So it's condensed, it's short. You're pretty much staying on that one strip for the whole film. You're following them through, seeing all their tactical ways they're trying to get through the situation. But at the end of the day, it's more than characters. It's more the sense, the feeling of what you are experiencing through that war, and you're just kind of seeing the characters try and get through the situation. So yeah. Cameron?
Yeah, Warfare for me was a simulation that somehow made it on the big screen. Honestly, just the chemistry between all the actors on screen was just phenomenal. I think they're all fantastic at what they do, and they're just all these actors really just leveled up for me in this after watching their performance in this movie. They're all so different, but they all gel together so well. And I've never experienced what I've experienced when I was watching this movie, like the relentless tension, just the uneasiness it puts you throughout the whole movie, and you don't know what's going to happen next. And it's just like, just honestly, it was wow. But at the same time, at some points I really did want to get out of there, but I stuck through it because it was just so fantastic as well. I wish I could look away, but I couldn't look away at the same time, and it just blew me away, honestly. And I think the way it was cut, oh my God, just when we're running out towards the tanks on the strip, I think that was the most fluid shot I've ever seen in a film. I felt like I was in that line that was running from the house into the strip, and then running back. It's chaos, but it just runs so smooth. It was just, I've never seen anything like it, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, going back to Moon's point about the sound design, when the explosives go off, I'm used to in a film they have that high pitch like until like the hearing of the person comes back.
Yeah.
I much preferred the way it was done in this film, where pretty much it's like deaf, like there's no sound, and then you're hearing it muddled and it slowly comes back, but over the course of people actually doing stuff. And it's no music being in the film, I think, is its best benefit, because it really makes it feel like it's something that's like documentary kind of happening and you're watching it in the moment, as opposed to something that's choreographed. And I think that's the sound design is really important for this film.
Yeah, it is. Usually when we watch a movie, like any movie, we usually follow one character, usually the main. But here, everyone is the lead. Everyone, because I'm so invested in everyone, and no one is actually lead here. And like Cameron pointed out, that everyone, like, I've never seen Will Poulter like this good ever.
They're all very serious.
They are very serious, and they're just incredible. Man.
Well, even when the B team comes in, the backup team to help them.
Yeah.
At a certain point, it feels like they've taken over as the main characters of the film.
It did feel
and we've never met them. We don't know the names or anything like that. And it's just, it's more saying like it's the event that we're following as opposed to the characters. That's something that's really, really well done. And I really did one thing that some films, like when it's based on history, you see like the credits, they have the slideshow of like this person was this person. They show all that at the end of this film as like part of the film just before the credits. So I really did appreciate that. You get to see a bit of behind the scenes of how they were shooting the scenes and how they were actually bringing it to life. So I did think that was quite interesting from a film perspective.
Yeah, it definitely helped to understand that they were actually teaching the actors the movements and what they were describing, what they were looking at, and what they were worried about, and stuff like that. But one of the scenes when he's just sniping, but he's just looking down the scope. I swear to God, it felt like he was breathing on top of me. And because you're just looking down the barrel of the scope for like
so long,
4 minutes, and you're just like, well, something's gonna happen, and nothing happens. But you're always on the edge of your seat throughout this whole movie, even when absolutely nothing is happening. I'm just like, something's gonna happen, but it never really happens until you least expect it, and then
it happens. And
it's crazy. This movie blew me away.
Yeah, the uneasy feeling like when he's trying to put the tourniquet on and he just can't. It's like he knows what he's supposed to do, but he just can't do it.
Yeah.
It was one of those things that, like, when I watched it, I thought that would be me in that situation. It's like, so, like, you train for every situation and then something like that happens, and it was just amazing to see, like, on the screen. Even like when that B team comes in, they've got people that are injured on the floor, and like one guy's legs are pretty much like pulverized, and like he comes through and he just like walks over him and
Yeah, a couple of
Yeah,
times it
yeah.
happens too.
yeah, not just once, like a few
Yeah,
times.
a few times it happens.
And you could see he's like, come on, it's his legs, leave him, you know. Have
Even
some
I was
respect."
screaming inside, come
Yeah,
on, man, look.
Exactly, especially after the first time. I was like, he just told you, what the hell? And yeah, it's just, you could see the frustration I felt is the frustration they felt. And when I watch a film and I forget that they're actors and just think they're the people,
there.
that's when it's perfectly acted. That's what I love to see.
All right, guys, gonna give our scores.
Yep.
Moon, how many tanks out of 10?
9.5 tanks out of 10.
John?
9.5 tanks out of 10.
Yep, 9.5 tanks out of 10. All right, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, check out our socials, and we'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.